Springfield Lodge here, the District 1B membership coordinator. So welcome to everyone. I'm so happy to have you guys here, and I'm very happy to not recognize all of you, to have a chance to meet some new people, meet some of our families, and some of our friends. That's what this night is all about. It's about coming to enjoy our families and learn a little bit more about what do these Masons do? What is it that is? What are these DeMolay organizations and Rainbow organizations all about? So I'm really pleased to have some fantastic speakers here this evening. We have our District Deputy Grand Master, Jim Scott, right, Worshipful? He will give a couple of quick remarks, and then we'll go through a series of speakers, and they'll talk about Masonry and what DeMolay is, our youth organizations, and the Rainbow, what their organization is, and we'll walk through and just learn a little bit more. Please feel free to grab some additional food or whatever during the thing. It's fine. This is just meant to be casual and informational, and to have a fun evening. So we'll start with Jim, and then we'll have our Worshipful Master from Springfield. I don't see him. Worshipful Mel. He is the Worshipful Master here at City, here at Springfield Lodge. And then we'll have Most Worshipful Don Straley here with us. And Barry Minch is in the back. He'll talk, give us a quick intro to Masonry. And the programs are there on your table so you can follow along. Right, Worship?
Good evening, everyone. Like Worship Brother Chris said, I'm Jim Scott. I'm the District Deputy for 1B. There's 6 lodges in our district. So, do we have any non-Masons here? Okay, so just to let you know, that's fine. We can fix that. But that's one of the things Freemasonry teaches. It takes a good man to make him better. But anyhow, I had a 10-page presentation I was going to read tonight, but I'm sorry to say I left it at home. Anyhow, how about that food? It's good, isn't it? Yeah. Thank you. Springfield Lodge, Worshipful Brother Al, Worshipful Brother Chris, and Worshipful Brother Sam over there putting this on. This is absolutely fabulous. So I'm not going to bore you anymore. You've got some speakers coming up here that will really tell you what Freemasonry is all about and give you some good insight into all of it. But if you have any questions for me, see me over there. I'll probably be eating a cookie. Thank you, everyone.
Worshipful now.
Hey, good evening, everyone. I'm Yogi Vijana, I'm the Worshipful Master of this lodge. Thank you for coming in. Welcome to our second Oktoberfest family dinner and membership for it is co-sponsored by DeMolay chapter of the Woodlawn chapter DeMolay, and also we have the Rainbow in here, our youth groups, and we have a fantastic speaker tonight. And I will not bore you on my tonight, and just sit back and relax and enjoy. Thank you.
One of the key things that I hope that people will take away, there's a lot of information and misinformation and disinformation there about Masonry. And I'm hoping that some of the talks will, like the slide says here, give us some information on what Masonry and our youth affiliates are all about and what they're not about, to try to dispel some of that misinformation. Some of the key features of Masonry and DeMolay are we believe in friends and family. We believe in charity. As you saw by the front door, we're all also work in the lodge and the district with the DeMolay and the Masons to make charitable contributions to our community, to strengthen our community and help those in need. And then also, as Masons, we also believe in helping our youth learn to become better people, better leaders, better public speakers. And so you'll see that this evening with some of the DeMolay speakers and some of the Rainbow speakers that we have here this evening. So without any further ado, I'd like to introduce our first speaker. And there we go, here it is. This is Worshipful Brother Barry Mensch. He was past master of this lodge in 1980. Dude. Close. 87. 87. Yeah. 87. And he is past master also of John England's Union Lodge as well.
In Quantico, yes.
And he is a retired teacher from Fairfax County, and he taught my wife and some of her friends. That's not the introduction I really wanted. But, perfect.
Thank you.
Anyways, welcome, Barry. Thank you. Thanks.
I'm not sure about that introduction. My name is Barry Mensch, and it's such an honor to be back in my lodge. And my father was also he was a founding member of this lodge. He was a charter member of this lodge. And I grew up with Masonry, and literally grew up in Masonry. And when I was real small, and the Shriners and the events and everything, and it's the greatest fraternal organization on the planet, and I hope I can inculcate that with you this evening. I was told that I had 90 minutes, so no. I taught high school biology about a mile and a half from here at Lee High School. I was at Marshall High School for 21 years, and then moved to Lee High School which is no longer Lee High School, and for another 11, 12 years, and then I taught a couple of years down in Prince William County, and then realized that it's time to retire. So what I'm going to share with you is just a little 10-15 minute introduction to what Freemasonry is and perhaps what it isn't. And there are a lot of myths and misconceptions, as you've heard Worshipful Chris say, and hopefully I can dispel a few of those for you tonight. I'm so full too. Yeah, man too. So I had two definitions, if you look them up in any dictionary. In 1717, a nice working definition, or goodness, a definition was created that said Freemasonry is a system of morality veiled in allegory and illustrated by symbols. And you see a lot of them around this room if you've been inside the lodge room, a number of them. You see some of them right here, which we don't have time to talk about right now. And then if you were to hear a more modern definition, which is really not a lot different, in 2024, we say that Freemasonry is an organized society of men symbolically applying the principles of operative masonry, the ancient stone masons, the cathedral builders, and architecture to the science and art of building our character. So if you want to just pick one of these symbols up here, you can see that we say we come into the world rough, unhewn. Okay, we have a symbol that we have the rough ashlar and what's called the perfect ashlar. These are stones. And we try to transform our lives by doing the right thing every day. We try to chip it off we never get to the perfect stone, but we sure try hard. And you see, this is what Masons do. And so by definition, it's a fraternal organization. It is religious in character, but it is not a religion at all. That's important. It's based on the principles of brotherhood of man under the fatherhood of God, which you've probably heard before. And it does tremendous amounts of charitable work in the community. You see some of the examples of that out here today. Through its members, in addition to teachings and ceremonies that we seek to make good men better. You see that on their signs outside. And to make the world a better place in which to live. And I think that should be, not just Masons, I think everybody should strive to do that. So some of the myths that you're going to hear about Freemasonry, okay? That you've probably heard that it's a secret society, okay? I'm going to tell you that there are a lot of fallacies that abound. We are not a secret society. And that is not true. A secret society is a society that keeps its existence a true secret. You don't know who the members are, right? They don't make it known to any other affiliations or groups. Freemasonry does not hide its existence. We don't. Our names are registered. Everybody knows who everybody is. You can find them yourself. Members are on public sites and it's readily available. We meet in public buildings, like this one you see right here. And we call our lodges temples, okay? And we have hundreds of hospitals and orphanages and things that we do since we are a secret society, which is also we're not. Shack, as you know, and I'm going to talk about some of the famous Masons in a few minutes, but Shack is a fairly new Mason. I think it's, there, that's much better, 2011. So our teachings lie in the methods that we use, the symbols that we use, okay? And what it does is we take these symbols and we apply them to our lives. And I think we have our own language that we use, okay? There's nothing secret about it, okay? We're not a secret society, we're really a society with secrets. And the only secrets that we have are the recognition signs that we recognize each other anywhere in the world that we might travel. So let me reveal some of our deepest secrets and just spoil everything for you. Okay? These are actually, some of these cartoons are drawings from anywhere from the 17 to 1800s. Okay? And this was what a lot of people think initiation looks like. Okay? There's a goat tied outside and all that kind of thing, but we have no goats in our lodge. And that I will tell you. Okay? We're pretty open about who we are. You can see license plates. I saw a few outside when I was coming up. You know, there's a Grand Lodge license plate there. Every state has their own license plate. There's nothing really, we wear our rings proudly. And if I know my students for years and years, I had Masonic stuff all over my classroom. And, you know, I had, Masonic license plates and stuff on my wall in my biology classroom. And the kids would say, Mr. Mitchell, what's that ring? What's that G stand for? You know? And they used to say, well, that's your good guy ring. It's your good guy. I said, well, the G stands for geometry, which is true. Or it could stand for God. That's the beauty of Freemasonry, is it's open to your interpretation. But if you want to become a Mason, you have to ask one. No one's going to ask you. Okay? Freemasonry, you've heard that it's a cult. Okay? Well, it is not a cult. Okay? The person that joins Freemasonry knows clearly the organization he's joining. He understands that he himself has asked to become a Mason. Okay? There's no solicitation. Okay? No one's ever going to come up to you and say, hey, why don't you join? Here's a petition. That's not what we do. Okay? Freemasonry does not solicit members. And he retains the freedom of religion, politics, and friends and family associations. They're all still inherently in what we do. That doesn't change anything. But there are plenty of cults out there. You've seen them. You've heard about them. And some of them are not so pleasant. Okay? Some of them have caused great damage in the world. But we're not one of those. Okay? Masons, if they don't want to be a Mason, they can terminate their membership anytime. Okay? They can just stop going, stop paying their dues if they choose. We hope that's not going to happen. Masonic hospitals for crippled or burn children offer free care. That's not quite a cult. I don't think a cult would do that. Cult records are also hidden. We don't know who a member of a cult would be, but our records are easily found. Okay? If you wanted to find out who was at a meeting in my year, 1987 or 1777, those are records. They're there. We don't hide any of that. We obey the sovereign laws of our state, of our federal, local governments. We encourage rational free thinking. That's valued in Masonry. Freemasonry contributes to the welfare of communities. We give $2 million a day to charity. That's the Freemasons, through all the benevolent things that we do. Okay? Including the Shriners Hospital, which, the burn centers, the orthopedic hospitals all over the United States. Okay? Okay, I'm sure you've heard that we are a new world order. That Masons are trying to take over the world. I wish that were the case. Okay? We do not talk about politics in our lodge. There are two things we do not talk about in our lodge. It's forbidden. It's against Masonic law. It's un-Masonic. We don't talk about religion. We don't talk about politics. And that tends to make the world a better place. Because those are the two things that tend to divide us. And you can see it every day. Masons, we don't do that. We don't discuss it in our lodge. If you talk about it outside the lodge room, that's completely up to you. But I would strongly discourage using any kind of vehicle on Freemasonry in public media, social media. Matter of fact, it's against Masonic law. One of our Grand Masters recently said, that's a no-no. Okay? You post something on social media, that's not what we stand for. And that's certainly frowned upon. So did you also know that the Freemasons are controlled by the Illuminati? Yeah, it's true. That we faked the Apollo moon landing. These are things that I've read in my brief Masonic career, 44 years. I've been a Mason 44 years. That the Masons were directly involved with the assassinations of John F. Kennedy, John Lennon, and of course Abraham Lincoln. Okay? That Masons were involved in the sinking of the Titanic, whether you like the movie or not. Okay? Jack the Ripper. There's actually a movie called From Hell, which I'd encourage you to watch. It's got an anti-Masonic bite to it. But there's still evidence that says Jack the Ripper was a Mason because of the cuts that he made. We made cuts, but not quite like that. Okay? And we were behind the American and the French revolutions. Well, we probably were, but not in a conspiratorial way. Okay? Here's one example of one of the secrets that Missy dispelled. This is Buzz Aldrin. Buzz Aldrin was a Marine pilot. He was the first man to actually put his foot onto the moon, and he took his. He actually is a Scottish Rite Mason, and he actually took his flag, planted on the moon, and then brought it back home, and it sits over there now. It's in D.C. at the Scottish Rite, and you can go see it yourself. So a lot of big names were Masons belonging to this cult. Okay? You also hear a lot in media. Okay, a lot in media. National Treasure from Hell, Dan Brown, the novels, Da Vinci Code. Okay? I'd encourage you to read them. Okay? But don't think of them as fact, Masonic fact. Okay? As a matter of fact, Dan Brown is not even a Mason. Okay? Sure knows a lot about it. But just as a final little bit of trivia for you, there were 14 U.S. presidents that were Masons. Many of the founding fathers were Masons. The list goes on. They cover every possible field, discipline, the sciences, the arts, athletics, and I'm going to touch on a few of those. Just as a we're really not that bad. Really not. Let me show you something. Some of the more famous ones I know you've heard of. Harry Truman was a Grand Master of Masons at one point as well in Missouri. And of course, George Washington, kind of our patriarch of Freemasonry. The building that you see out there, the Masonic Temple, that beautiful, beautiful square compasses were actually constructed by some brothers from Springfield, dear friends of mine, that were once the engineers, the guys, the grandchildren behind that, the pilots see when they fly into Reagan National. Okay? Paul Revere, Douglas MacArthur, Joshua Chamberlain, great Civil War general. Okay? There's, as John and I talked about, there's a wonderful monument if you go to Gettysburg that you can see called the Friend of Friend. So even at enemies in the war, brothers can still be dear, dear, loving friends. And that's a great memorial to visit if you have time. Some entertainers, Brad Paisley, most of the members of his band are also members of the fraternity. John Wayne, my parents actually met John Wayne on their anniversary on a cruise. Brother John Wayne, Clark Gable, also a Mason. The list of Richard Pryor, also Masons. Mozart was initiated and agreed along with about 2 or 3 other very, very famous Masons who were there that day. Louis Armstrong, also. Lewis and Clark, both Masons. That's John Glenn, I mentioned him. John Glenn, also the first one to walk in space, also was a fighter pilot. Brother Arnold Palmer, okay, also a Mason. Sugar Ray Robinson, one of my favorite boxers, gave most of his money from all the purses that the money he made, he gave it to charity. Okay? Harlan Sanders, also a Mason. Dave Thomas gave a tremendous amount to charity in honor of his daughter. Okay? Samuel Clemens, also AKA Mark Twain, was a Mason. Rudyard Kipling, also a Mason, also a pretty decent distance runner as well, pretty good miler. The faces you see on Mount Rushmore were sculpted by a Mason as well, Order. Some of the great generals, Winston Churchill, Brother Harry Houdini was a Mason as well. His actually given name was Eric Weiss. He's actually Jewish, and he gave most of his money to charity as well. And so I close with a quote from Brother Ben Franklin, the Grand Master of Masons in Pennsylvania, and where he said, he gave a charge to the fraternity. Yeah, isn't that a beautiful chair there, by the way? And his charge is as follows. When we say, hey, you're going to earn your wages as a Mason, what does that actually mean? Okay? Well, it's not actually physical money. Okay? Masonic labor is purely a labor of love. He who seeks to draw Masonic wage in gold and silver will be disappointed. That's not why we do this. Okay? The wages of a Mason are earned and paid in the dealings with one another. As we say, sympathy begets sympathy. Kindness begets kindness. Helpfulness gives rise to helpfulness. And these are the wages of a Master Mason. And I have that actually as one of the things, and one of my foundational things. I know my tattoo is in honor of my father, and it was based upon that say right there. So it's been very important to me. I wouldn't change a minute of my 44 years. I hope I make it to another 44. But it was such a pleasure to be here with you all today. Thanks for being here, and I hope if you have any questions, I have my email. Of course, if you're going to become a Mason, you have to ask. You've seen that before. But I'm more than happy. My email is darwinrocks212@gmail.com. I'm happy to answer questions. I can give you my cell number if you have any questions. And I'm sure through Chris or any of the guys that are here, including our past Grand Master, can answer more questions than I can. Thank you so much for having me.
All right, thank you, Brother Barry. So, Brother Barry had a chance to introduce you to a little of the key tenets of our institution, and also go into a little bit of the things that we're not about. Like Barry was saying, to become a Mason, you have to ask a Mason. And I'll give you a perfect example of that. My dad is a Mason. He's a 64-year Mason. He had been going to all these Masonic events in Scottish Rite, and he was in Shriners and in Masonry. And for many, many years, he had been going to all these events. And I saw him with all these good guy rings, like Barry was saying, and I wondered finally, when I was 45 years old, I said, Dad, what is all this Masonry stuff that you're going to? He said, Chris, glad you asked. And it opened the door. And just like Barry was saying, you learn to earn your wages as a Master Mason. You learn sympathy begets sympathy, kindness begets kindness, charity begets charity. And those kinds of things are tremendously rewarding, and it helps you learn to live to become a better person. So thank you, Brother Barry, for introducing us to that. Next, I'd like to invite Most Worshipful Don Straley up, who's going to talk to a little bit about Masonry, and it's linked to our youth affiliates. There's 2 youth affiliates. We have 2 chapters in this lodge that meet here, the Woodlawn DeMolay, who we'll hear from shortly, and as well as the International the Rainbow Girls, who also have a chapter here and meet with. So, Most Worshipful.
Thank you, Worshipful. Appreciate it very much. Thank you for allowing me to be with you this evening. Worshipful Master, thank you for sharing your beautiful facility with us tonight and allowing us to enjoy food and fellowship. Our District Deputy Grand Master, Right Worshipful Jim, thank you for taking time out of your busy schedule to be here tonight.
Thank you, sir.
Absolutely. Worshipful Barry, wonderful. Nice job. Thank you. I appreciate that. Wishful Chris is modest about his dad. I believe your dad was president of Toastmasters International too. Quite an orator in his world. Let's start with the young people. It's Halloween, right? So, how do you know a vampire is getting sick? He starts in a coffin. That was pretty bad, right? Okay, one more then. What do you call a witch on the beach? A sandwich. All right. So we heard Worshipful Barry talk a little bit about Freemasonry. Interestingly enough, last year we celebrated 300 years of our formal constitution. I had the pleasure as Grand Master last year of traveling to London to witness our celebration where we had Grand Masters from the U.S. and all over Europe come together and Africa come together and celebrate that moment. It was very exciting. But what do we do in Freemasonry? We make good men better human beings. But you know, one of the things that we're called to do is to support our youth. And we have 3 youth organizations. You're lucky here in Springfield. We have 2. We have Woodlawn D. chapter, and we have the International Order of Rainbow for the Girls, who meets here, our Springfield chapter. How clever, right? They call it Springfield. And that's for young ladies, I think 11 to 20, right? 10 to 20 now. Okay, great. And you know what? Our youth are very special to us because it's important that we support young people in their development in life. And just to tout the Rainbow Girls a little bit, and I've spent more time working with the International Order of Job's Daughters and Rainbow, and sometime with the D. Malay. But these young ladies have an opportunity to learn leadership skills at the very base level of leading their assemblies, also learning ritual, and it's something where parents are encouraged to participate, and where the daughters, the girls, want the parents to be there. They also want Freemasons to come. You want the Masonic leaders to come and visit their assemblies. But I'll tell you one thing they do learn. They learn how to stand up in a room and introduce the entire room, if you needed to, as well as conduct the meetings. So I'll stack you up in any boardroom across America in your future life, because you're learning that skill that is translatable to leading organizations, businesses, or nonprofits. Whatever you choose to do, the sky's the limit, and that foundation is created in Rainbow for Girls, and that foundation of honesty and integrity and leading all the lessons that you learn through the colors of the rainbow. So congratulations, you're on the road to success for your future because you decided to be a Rainbow Girl, and that's wonderful. Little hint, I had 3 daughters. They were all past honor queens of Bethel 1 in Arlington. And, you know, if we'd had a Rainbow Assembly, they probably would have joined that as well. So we have girls that go back and forth between both. But let's talk about D. Malay a minute. Why do Freemasons support the International Order of D. Malay? It was started by a guy named Frank S. Land. Frank S. Land is recognized as the man who got D. Malay started when? 102 years ago. I'm wearing the centennial shirt, and so is Worshipful Sam back here. Frank Land was a past imperial potentate for Shriners International. You heard a little bit, Barry talk about Shriners and the hospitals that they have. They just had a little golf tournament just recently, which raises money for children. Today, we not only have 19 hospitals in North America, Mexico, and Canada, but over 100 clinics. and they continue to expand, especially in Mexico and South America, where the children's needs are so great, who have spinal issues, who have osteo issues with bone challenges, also children who've had burns, cleft palates, all kinds of things. So we're taking that care to those children outside of the United States, outside of the initial hospitals that we have. The hospitals are there for the very, very critical care that someone might need, but we're taking the care to where the children are so they don't have to travel as far to get help, and we do that for free. If you have insurance, fine, but you don't need insurance, we will take care of the child until they're an adult and make sure that they're a successful outcome to the best we can possibly do. Anyway, Frank Land, as I said, was an imperial potentate, but he also saw a need for young men to have an organization to help their development and growth. And we as Freemasons need to support that, and we do. So all of our leaders in DMLA are all Freemasons. And we want to make sure that young men have the same opportunity to build relationships with other young men, learn leadership skills, learn high quality, high morals and morality. Unfortunately, today we are not teaching morality in many places anymore. I don't know if we still teach morality in school. I don't think so anymore. We used to have some modest amount of morality, but we don't even teach that anymore. So we don't push a particular ideology or agenda or religious belief. We welcome young men and families of all walks of life that believe in God, that have a faith in God, because we believe that reverence is important. But it may be on the Bible, it may be on the Quran, it may be on the Torah. So it's not necessary to believe in one particular religion, but we want young men to have a belief in God because it's a foundational thing for success in your life, in your morality. So we as Freemasons feel very, very tied to our youth. And we want to make sure that we have an opportunity for our youth to be successful. Last year we started the Virginia Youth Foundation to support our youth organizations here in Virginia, all three of them. So we raised a significant amount of money. We have several $100,000 in that foundation now to help support those organizations when they need effort to help expand and grow their local assemblies and chapters and Bethels. So anyway, I want to share with you tonight, just let you know that Freemasonry is here to support our young people. And when we do one thing really, really well. You know, if you go online and look at the leaders of our country who are in the Hall of Fame of DMLA, go online and look at the names of those men who are all in DMLA and the jobs that they had. They were leaders in our military. They were leaders in political arenas. They were congressmen, senators, and had very important positions in corporations because of the foundation that we were able to provide young men. This fraternity in Virginia, we have 275 lodges. That means just like this one right here. This is a great lodge. I will tell you, first of all, it's a phenomenal lodge. Not because I'm an honorary member, but anyway, to our young people who are here, if you are not a member of one of our youth organizations, please consider that. It's wonderful. You know that when you join, you're going to make lifelong friends. There are many, many men in this fraternity that were DMLA brothers, and they have been lifelong friends since they were 13 and 14 years old. I'll use my wife as an example. She was in a Bethel in Arlington. She's a past honored queen of that Bethel, which is the person that leads that Bethel. But she has a friend, his name is Howard Sobel. He's a past potentate. They were friends when he was in DeMolay and she was in Job's Daughters. They're now serving together in Eastern Star, and they've been friends for 50 or more years together. And that's the kinds of friendships that are created by our youth organizations that live long after you've graduated from them. So anyway, I want to thank you for the opportunity to say a few words today. If you have any questions about our fraternity and want to learn more about Virginia Freemasonry or Freemasonry across the United States, I'd be happy to stay and talk to anybody who'd like to learn more about that. But we're here to support our youth because it's the right thing to do, because we build better communities when we take the time to invest in young people. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Most Worshipful. As Most Worshipful was just saying, you know, Masonry really tries to set with their principles and becoming people a good example for our youth. And having those experiences for DeMolay and Rainbow to go through, just like Most Worshipful was saying, to go and organize a meeting and see how you empathize and care with other people and lead with empathy. Those are skills that you'll be able to take throughout and apply your life. And you will become successful. And just for examples, okay, well, how does this actually take shape? Just to give you an example, some of the Masons, we have charitable events here, we have blood donation events, we make donations to charity and Springfield Echo. And as Masons, we are setting the example in doing some of these things with our DeMolay chapters, with our Rainbow chapters, and helping them to see this is how you do it, this is how you do it right. And to have them learn that type of empathy and charity for making yourself not only better, but also making your community better. Most Worshipful had a fantastic motto last year, and that is membership always, membership today, charity always, and youth for tomorrow. And that's one of the things we definitely espouse. So without further ado, I'd like to introduce Jacob Shin, who is going to be introducing the State Master Counselor via Zoom for the state of Virginia.
Technical difficulties. We're going to go back to get some cookies, dessert, water, or something. While waiting. Or candy. Yeah.
speaking. Oh. Need a mute. Okay. Can you all hear me? Yes. All right. Ladies and gentlemen, good evening. Good evening. I've been asked to speak tonight about the Order of D. Malay, which is a nonprofit youth organization for young men between the ages of 12 and 21, which teaches leadership skills like critical thinking, effective communication, event planning, problem solving, and many more essential abilities. In D. Malay, there are many opportunities for the young men as well. Things like community service, public speaking, and scholarships that are exclusive to our members. However, I believe that the most important opportunity it provides is the opportunity for brotherhood. In D. Malay, you make many friends that you will keep for a long time, and that is all thanks to the bonds you form during your active membership. Recently, Jacob Shin, who is the Northern Region Membership Director, planned an event which I heard was not going to have as high attendance as he had hoped. He worked hard to plan not one event, but two. When I found out the event was not going to have as high attendance as he had hoped, I spoke to my chapter dad, and on our way to Pennsylvania for ritual competition, we stopped to support him, simply because that's what brothers do. Jacob and I, as well as a lot of other members from Kempsville and Woodlawn, had the opportunity to talk about what was happening in each of our individual chapters and strengthen the bonds of our friendships, which I hope will last for a very long time. Jacob reciprocated the favor by coming down to Virginia Beach for our installation of officers and spending the night afterwards playing many fun games and making memories that will not be soon forgotten. Because of this, Kempsville chapter voted to make Jacob Shin an honorary member. These are the kinds of bonds you can make and build in D. Malay. Bonds that strengthen relationships and make you want to come back for each and every event. We have lots of fun and different events to appeal to people of all interests to help kickstart these friendships. Unlike at schools, where cliques like nerds, which happen to be some of my favorite friends, jocks, and many more, D. Malay International, and Virginia D. Malay in particular, have been working to eliminate that from our fraternity. I believe that Virginia D. Malay has been successful in this task, incorporating different fun events such as D&D, athletic competitions, movie nights, and many more ingenious ideas. We embrace everybody with open arms, no matter which group you belong to. Some of the best bonds are made from members of two different interest groups, and in places like school, where these cliques are common and easily visible, these bonds would never have been possible. Currently, the world is in need of more organizations like ours. Organizations that will not cross over to the other side of the road to pass those who are wounded, but will stay to offer a hand of assistance and help those who've been wounded and left behind. You know, I wish there was a story about that. Or what's another word for a story? A parable. I wish there was a parable that taught this lesson. Oh wait, there is. For this next part, I would have loved to be in person to make it as personable and interactive as possible. However, due to unforeseen circumstances that made it difficult, I'm not able to join you this evening in person. And for that, I apologize. But I am very grateful for the opportunity to be speaking over Zoom this evening. I've only been in D. Malay for a couple of years, but I've been around long enough to see some chapters unfortunately close. And no matter what anyone thinks, the chapters do not close because the members' failure to get new members. They close because of a lack of support from their advisors. In order for chapters to be successful, they have to have empowering and enthusiastic adult leaders willing to guide the young men through the tunnel towards the light at the end. Without the constant support and recruitment efforts of these advisors, the chapter would not be as successful. So with that, Most Worshipful Straley made a big push during his year as Grand Master for more Masonic and non-Masonic advisors. This was a very crucial push for some chapters to start getting back to regular activities. Even with this, we can never have enough support. Which 3 of you are going to sign up and give 2 nights of your year to our DMLA? Just 2 nights. Which ones? Please raise your hands high. No matter how small a donation, your time matters. Just 2 nights a year, let one young man have the night of his life and allow him to make friends that will last a lifetime. In order to continue to grow as an order, and in terms of our relationships with one another, this is a necessary step. Woodlawn is a big chapter, but I want to see them grow even more. We need advisors to do this. Hopefully, after this presentation, you will see why your time is so important. Please help us rekindle the hope by helping out and re-exciting the members and current advisors of our DMLA chapters, as you now know how DMLA positively affects its members. Which 3 of you are not going to cross to the other side of the road, but will stay and extend your hand to assist the organization that I love? Please give your names to Jacob Shin so that we may follow up with you soon. God bless the adult leaders who give up their time to assist our youth organizations. God bless Virginia DMLA, and God bless the United States of America. Thank you.
And thank you, Brother Schmutz, for your presentation today.
It is my pleasure, sir. Thank you for allowing me to speak.
And we have a speaker. You know, Candy said that's not.
Did I shoot that kid with a paintball? Did I shoot him with a paintball?
Were you shot with a paintball?
I was not shot with a paintball. So, thank you all.
All right, ready?
Are there any questions? All right. Thank you for your time, guys.
Thank you, speaking.
Thanks, Brady.
Good job, Brady.
And I have my own presentation here about DMLA. So this is basically a little bit more factual stuff about it. So this presentation will provide a general understanding of what DMLA is about, or what DMLA is, what it does, and what it is about. So why are you here? People join DMLA for a myriad of reasons, such as wishing to build meaningful connections to lead a fruitful life, and or to build leadership skills. In addition, you can learn more about DMLA, such as the valuable virtues, which are covered later. 4 things. There are 4 major events we do, and those are make memories, build friendships, develop skills, and give back to the community. And we make memories by having chapter events at the regional or state level that provide vast opportunities for creating lasting memories, from holiday parties to laser retreats, regional reunions, to the yearly state conclave, are wonderful times in which you can create positive memories that will last a lifetime. In DMLA, we are genuine in our efforts to make and keep friends by simply taking time to talk to each other, or by providing encouragement to each other in times of trouble or need. Friendships in DMLA are lifelong, and if you ever need someone to talk to or want to talk to, DMLA Buzz will always be there for you and to stand up for you. DMLA teaches many skills, but the important ones being leadership, public speaking, and learning the principles of following and leading. These skills are applicable to real life experiences, such as attending college, applying for a job, or even for creating your own business. Give back. In D. Millennium, we believe in giving back to our community, whether it is by donating or by time. We host many food drives who need and do work to maintain a clean environment. We receive so much from our community, such as our public schools, that it would display our appreciation and our principle of good citizenship to assist our community for the better. D. Millennium can prepare your son for the future by providing various skills of life, by giving confidence and social skills, by receiving advice from experienced and trustworthy advisors or mentors, the ability to receive vital internships and scholarships, and by building a habit of civic service. The 7 cardinal virtues of D. Millennium are filial love, reverence for sacred things, courtesy, comradeship, fidelity, cleanness, and patriotism. And all of these virtues are what allows your son to live a meaningful life in which he will be remembered as respectable and reliable. Parents are able to see what their son does when he is a member. Parents can also become advisors and contribute to their son's efforts. There is a $48 fee for becoming an advisor and a $20 renewal rate per year. But the advisors are important because they're the ones who they just like only do more obvious tasks of like driving us to places or just like having to be present to the times where they actually guide us through like times, like when we're like in a officer position and they help us like guide through that position. And advisors are trained individuals like Woodlawn International and have national background checks in order to ensure safety and efficiency. Advisors are there to mentor members, regardless of age. They also provide transportation, chaperone events, and serve as role models for their son. Our sponsor, D-Millennium Institute General, is sponsored by the Masonic Lodge. Woodlawn chapter is sponsored by Springfield Lodge number 217. These sponsors provide us a place to meet, provide opportunities to give back, and provide financial support for the chapter. In essence, D-Millennium gives your son long-lasting friendships, leadership experience, and personal development, civic service opportunities, and scholarships for school. There's a lifetime membership fee, $50. This is only a one-time payment, and no renewals are paid. And fill out one of the provided membership applications where you and your son can join us in D-Millennium. For those who do not feel ready to join yet, that is no problem. We are hosting a variety of activities, and you can join at a date where you feel ready to join. Information. We are a Woodlawn chapter, and we meet on the first and third Sundays of a month at 3 p.m., unless otherwise mentioned. Thank you so much for your time and listening to this presentation. Feel free to ask me anything related or any advisors any questions you may have. I would like to call Sister Abination to the podium to give her presentation about religious skills.
How are y'all tonight? My name is Abby Nystrom, and I'm a member of the International Order of the Rainbow for Girls. I am one of the state officers in Virginia Rainbow. I'm the Grand Chaplain. So, what is Rainbow? Rainbow is a Masonic service organization that teaches girls important life lessons through charity and service. Like Masonry, Rainbow focuses on leadership, community, service, and personal development. Our motto is, Rainbow gets girls ready for life. Rainbow has been around for over 100 years. It was founded in 1922 by Reverend W. Mark Simpson. saw the amazing lessons that Dean Lay and Joe Stoddard offered, and he wanted to give all girls those same opportunities regardless of whether or not they were related to a Mason. Our lessons. So we have a lot of different lessons in Rainbow. A lot of the stations are corresponding with teaching, and three of the main are the station of faith. The station of faith. At faith, we learn how faith helps guide us and is there when we need support. The station of hope teaches us that no matter where we are or what we're going through, there's always hope. And the office of charity teaches us that through helping others, we not only better our world, but we also make us better as people. And then each of the colors of the rainbow symbolizes a lesson. I'm not going to read it. It's a long word. What do rainbow girls do? What don't we do? We plan charity events. We plan fundraisers. We do service events. We also like to work with our other Masonic bodies, so Masons, DMI, Joe Stars, and this helps us develop speaking skills. 2 or 3 years ago, I think, I gave a speech to around 300, 400 people, and I can promise you that if I was not in Rainbow, I would not have been able to do that. There's no way. So it really teaches you life lessons. Yeah, it teaches us how to lead through hands-on experience. We plan events, we establish budgets, we run our own businesses, and we also build a lot of relationships with our other members, our sisters, if you will. And so the leader of our assemblies is much like the worshipful master. So instead of that, we have a worthy advisor. And she's elected from her peers. Sorry. So these are just some fun pictures of what we've been through. If you see right here, so this is me and one of my friends, Hazel. Hazel is a member of Rainbow in Washington, Idaho, their jurisdiction, and we met 3 years ago, I believe, and we're still close. We're still friends. Every time I see her, it's like no time has passed. We're really close. So I think that one of the best things about Rainbow is the connections we build. My mother was in Rainbow, my grandmother was in Rainbow, and my great-grandmother was in Rainbow. So I have also grown up around Masonic organizations. And I know that my mother and my grandmother always need more support, and that's truly one of the most important things for this organization. We have to have support, or else we can't continue the good work we do. If you are a Master Mason or one of our other sponsoring bodies, we would love to see you at our meetings. We're in fact highly encouraged to come to our meetings. Please come to our meetings. We would love to have you. And if you aren't one of our sponsoring bodies, you can always come to one of our fun events. We have, like I said, we have service projects, fundraisers, charity events. You name it, we probably have it. The more the merrier. Or if you just want to help us spread the word, we would love that. We would be so grateful. Thank you. Is there any questions?
I listened to you speak for a couple of years and it's become much more natural in your years. But I was wondering, how can we get some pancakes?
We hold breakfasts every month, I think. Quarterly. I don't know off the top of my head when those are, but yes, we do hold brunches, and he helps us with mixing the food, and you should stop by. It's truly so good.
It's a great way to, it's very cheap for feeding the whole family. Going out to restaurants, it's a nice way to support a fundraiser.
Are there any other questions?
So these are two great examples, just like Tom was mentioning, about how DeMolay and Rango can teach you to gain self-confidence in yourself, to become a better public speaker, to organize these talks, to organize these events, and become a leader of yourself and of others. These are two great examples. And I'll just say also, I just wanted to say thank you to Abby and to Jared coming tonight. They had a Ringo event tonight, and yet they took the time out to join us this evening. So thank you very much for coming tonight. That's good. And just like Brady Shreves was talking about, the Master Counselor from Virginia, the commitment comes from Masons and families, and that's what makes these organizations successful. And Jared and Pam, Abby's parents, Meredith, Jacob's mom, they're all very committed to the organizations, to helping their kids, and that is another great example of what Masonry is about. Family and youth and helping each other out. Okay, so next we have the discussion forum. Okay, so we've heard a little bit about what Masonry is, what it's not, what our youth groups are, what they're not, and now I thought it would be interesting to hear a little bit more about what got some of the kids interested in DeMolay and what some of their stories were. So I thought we would just finish up with Brother Jacob has brought to a couple of brothers from DeMolay to come and talk and share their stories.
I would like to call up Brother Hanley and Brother Esteban. Okay, so this is going to be the discussion board. So I'll be asking like a couple or few questions about like DeMolay and like why they joined. So my first question to both of you is like what inspired you to join DeMolay?
What inspired me to join DeMolay was mostly because of my dad over there. Yeah, he's kind of awesome. He's my dad. I'm related to him, you know. But if he didn't tell me about DeMolay, I wouldn't have met you guys.
Yeah.
Which is awesome. Yeah, it's awesome.
And what spurred you to join DeMolay?
Pretty much the same thing. My dad, he was a Mason in Paraguay, and he wanted to join again. So he asked me if I wanted to be a DeMolay. Yeah.
And do any of you regret joining DeMolay?
No, why would I do that? That's good.
That's good. So, what what was the first event you went to, and like what do you remember about it?
Ooh.
If you can remember that.
The first event I went to,
Yeah.
it was.
anything.
Yeah. So I got initiated during Brotherhood weekend, and We went on like a yacht, and that's like, I remember like that entire thing vividly. I was so awkward during then, and I still am now, but you know, I've grown since then, you know? Yeah, it's all like a little bit of progress, you know? It's all itsy bitsy steps. Yeah.
So, like, what was your first fun event that you like went to, or that's notable to you, like your first notable event?
Well, my initiation too.
Initiation.
It was in Luray Caverns, so we went in the caverns. So yeah, that was really cool.
Yeah.
So, to you, what is DMLA?
DMLA is a sense of community and brotherhood. It's a place where you can love your brothers as much as you can. Yeah.
Yeah. And what is DMLA to you?
What Hammy said, you have connections to all over the state and other states too. Yeah.
So my next question would be is like, I'm trying to think of how to word it. So like what feelings do you get like when you do these service projects such as donations, service hours, etc.?
I feel a sense of community whenever I do one of these service projects because like I love seeing all of you here gathered here tonight. You know, I love seeing it. It's awesome.
So like basically, how do you feel after doing certain service projects?
Oh,
Same
well,
question.
good. Another sense of connection to the community, like Hammy said.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
What do you think the most important virtue of the DMLA is and why?
The most important virtue. You can't really choose a single virtue to really choose from because all of them work in tandem with one another into creating the man that you want to be.
Yeah. Good. In response, like
I feel like they're all equally important.
Yeah.
And what are they?
Watch this. Filial love. Reverence should take things. Courtesy, comradeship, fidelity, cleanness, and patriotism. Yeah.
Right.
Oh yeah. Off the dome with it, yeah. Off the dome with it.
So then.
This confident in his speech? How long have you been this confident in your speech?
Oh yeah, like.
Were you always this confident?
No.
He's quiet, the little, he's just like you. And how long have you been in DMLA?
Me?
Yeah.
Uh,
honey. No, the youngest. Oh, you're the youngest.
4 months? 6 months?
How long?
4 months.
4 or 6 months.
Okay, 4 years, you'll be very confident.
Yes.
You will
Please
be
make for
confident.
Wait, question. How old were you when you joined the DMLA?
12.
How old are you now?
16.
There you go. Esteban, how old are you?
I'm 12.
12? There you go.
Oh yeah. What else, Big G?
I was gonna ask a question, but I forgot the question.
It's all good.
Yeah. So, how would you compare your life from before you joined DMLA to after you joined DMLA?
I've already said it before. I was awkward. I didn't know how to talk to people. But then, like, you know, it's a growth. It's exponential. It gets easier as you keep going. You know.
And like compare like how you've been too.
So even though I've only been for a couple of months, I never really talked in front of like that many people. So I feel like public speaking's easier and stuff. Yeah.
Yeah.
There you go.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Hold on, my lips are chapped.
So I'll ask you this question while he does that. So, what has been what has been the most meaningful experience you've had in DMLA so far?
Like.
It could be anything. Really. It could be.
Probably. I mean, Conclave was really cool because there's people from all around the state. Everyone knew each other, and there's another sense of connection. So, yeah.
Yeah. What was the question again? I forgot.
What is the most meaningful DMLA experience?
Ooh, the most meaningful DMLA experience to me is definitely Conclave, because Everyone there is so weird, and it's awesome. Everyone in DMLA is weird, and I'm weird, he's weird, you're weird. It's all cool. You don't have to fit in no mold or anything.
Okay, so next
We're
question.
weird at Masonry too.
Oh yeah, oh yeah.
So to what extent did DMLA affect your life?
So what it, sorry, say.
To what extent did DMLA affect your life?
To what extent did, well, DMLA helped me.
He's not as weird as I am.
I'm trying to think. You want to go first?
Yeah.
You want to go? I'm trying to think.
Yeah, so to what extent?
So what was the question again?
I feel like you
So-
said, yeah. Sorry.
So like, to what extent did DMLA affect your life?
Oh.
Only so far.
Wait, what do you mean?
Like, has it like the little, a lot, middle, ground? Yeah.
Yeah. It's helped me a lot. Oh, sorry, Jerry, you're gonna go. Sorry, my bad. So yeah, it's helped me a lot socially. I'm talking to more people now. I'm making more friends. It's awesome. Yeah.
I mean, it's helping me, definitely. It'll probably help me more as I continue.
Yeah, it's exponential growth, you know. It's going.
Where do you think you would be now if he had not joined DMLA?
In my room. I'd be in my room right now. I wouldn't be here in front of you guys. So yeah.
Yeah, not here.
Yeah.
Like anything specific or nothing at all? It doesn't have to be anything specific. You don't have anything.
I don't.
So, what do you think about like do you think like the symbols, like the crown, for example, like how do you like interpret like the symbols and their meanings behind them?
You want to take this one? You want to take this one?
That time actually gave me a sheet about what every
Yeah.
part of the symbol means.
Yeah.
So yeah, I go by that. I'm trying to memorize it, but yeah.
What he said, yeah. What he said.
Okay. I'm trying to think of
Check if they have
any questions for the general people.
What's good?
the general public.
All right.
Any questions?
Is that it? No?
I think that's it.
Yeah.
And I think that they're pointing out the fact that everyone's coming with their own unique skills and perceptions. And we learn as Masons in DMLA to appreciate that along the way and help each other grow to find their own way. So that's a perfect kind of lesson. Spouses and rainbow spouses. So I hope this evening that you guys were able to learn a little bit more about Masonry, learn a bit more about what it's not, learn a little bit more about our youth groups and what they're not, and have some fun and enjoy a good dinner with our family and friends, because that's what Masonry is all about. All right?
Thank you.